Nos encontramos ahora mismo con el director técnico de este equipo Andretti. Nos encontramos con Roger. Roger, thank you for attending this interview.
You're welcome. Nice
So
to be
let's
here.
start the questions. First one is, what was the most challenging for the team about changing from Gen 2 to Gen 3?
It's a long list. I mean, we've changed manufacturers. So last season we were a BMW powered team. This season we're a Porsche powered team. So whilst both of them are German brands, they have very different ways of operating, and it's a new group of people. So it's just the human side of things, of getting to know everybody, getting to know how they work. Obviously the car's very new, a lot of new technology, a different type of battery, higher power levels. We have a front power unit for regeneration. So there's a lot of new things that we need to understand, and probably one of the bigger influences a new tyre as well. So across whether it's control systems, vehicle dynamics, tyre dynamics, there's an awful lot for us to try and get on top of in a very short space of time.
About the tires, they were saying that they are a lot harder than the Michelin ones. This is going to be a challenge, strategically talking.
For sure they are a lot harder. They're also a dual compound tyre, so the inner band of the tyre is much softer than the outer band of the tyre, but even the soft part of the Hankook tyre is harder than the Michelin. You know, one of the things with the Michelin tyre that we would see at certain tracks like Mexico City, for example, was that we would have a high degree of tyre wear. I don't think tyre wear is a problem with the Hankook tyre. I think we could potentially run all season on one set of tyres. So, which makes it a bit tricky. The ultimate grip level is not quite there, so the car is extremely quick in a straight line, and maybe not quite so quick around the corners. It makes the car a little bit more challenging on the brakes because it moves around a lot more. I certainly think it could lead to some very exciting racing. I mean, Hankook have done an amazing job. I mean, Michelin was there for 8 seasons, so they had a lot of opportunity to evolve the tyre, to find out what works, what doesn't work. Whereas Hankook have come in, there's an awfully high bar that Michelin had set in terms of technology and performance on the tyres. I think Hankook have done a really good job getting to where they are. We're going to learn a lot about the tyre over the next few races, and hopefully we're going to maximise that learning.
Great. And about the strategies, the charging is supposed to be introduced next season and tested this year. What do you think about that? This is going to be more challenging for you, more exciting for the races.
Yeah, I mean, the original intention was to have the boost charge this season in the race for a variety of reasons that I don't believe that's going to be possible. I certainly wouldn't be in favour of introducing it partway through the season. I think it would be good. We've got enough things to worry about with a new car without throwing that into the mix. So I think it's good if we get the opportunity to test it. I'm sure there's going to be a few teething issues with it once we first start working, but hopefully we can work through those during the course of this season and then ready for a race introduction. But I think it's going to add a very exciting strategy element to the competition.
This year you have a really good couple of drivers. You have Jake, you have Andre. What do you think about them?
They're too tall. No, I mean, they're really good. I mean, Jake we've known for 2 seasons now. Multiple race winner with us. He's got the youth, he's got the enthusiasm. We call him Hollywood because he's got the looks as well. So he's really complemented well by Andre. Andre has got so much experience across multiple racing disciplines, whether it's as an F1 test driver in Super Formula in Japan, a WEC Le Mans winner, and then multiple seasons in Formula E. So, and the great thing about Andre is, having been a Porsche factory driver for a number of seasons now in Formula E, he understands how Porsche works. He understands how the Porsche systems work. So that really gives us a head start, if you like, in trying to get to grips with all of these new control systems and the technology within the Porsche powertrain, and also the way Porsche operates, which we're going to have to adapt to. So I think they complement each other well. I think they're going to push each other pretty hard during the course of the season. They already appear to get on really well, so that's a good sign. And I think Andre, to be honest, has seen a bit of a new lease of life. He was seeing his Formula E career maybe coming to a close. Quite early on we started talking about, well, what about Andre coming over to us? Could it work, could it not work? He has to complement the Formula E program with his WEC program for Porsche. So I think it's going to be a good dynamic for us, and hopefully we're going to get some good results, and you know, that bodes well for a championship.
And what are the objectives for this season?
Well, we always come into a season wanting to win. You know, we don't come here to make the numbers up, and you know, it's easy to say, much harder to do. There are, you know, every team in this pit lane is trying to win. You know, one of the things that I always set to everybody in the garage on the race team is these are the targets for the year. And we were talking about them just last week. You know, how many races do we want to win? What is our expectation of where we want to finish in the championship? You know, everybody wants to win the championship, but you also have to cover that with an element of realism. Is it feasible to win the championship? You know, we certainly want to have a situation where we're not having mistakes within the team. You know, things that are outside of our control is one thing, but if it's our procedures, our build specs, we have to make sure that everything is 100% correct. You know, I also talk about with the drivers. I don't want to be going to the steward's office and having to explain why you hit somebody. So we look at every aspect of it, and a new one for this year is the cost cap. So, you know, we saw in the press how it played out with Red Bull and with Aston Martin. So we need to be very mindful of staying within the cost cap. So that's a new target for this year. It's super critical that we achieve that. So yeah, we talk about, yes, we want to win races, but we actually set targets, and then at the end of the, or partway through the season and at the end of the season, we review those targets and see, are we on track? Do we need to make corrective action? So it's something that I brought from a past life, working with a big Japanese OEM. It's how they go racing, but I think it's very effective in establishing what we want to do and achieve as a team. And then nobody can look at each other at the end of the year and say, did we or didn't we? You know, if you write it down in black and white, it's very easy to see, did we achieve it or not.
So Roger, thank you very much. Good luck
You're
for
welcome.
the season, and thank you for attending this interview.
Thank you. Thank you.